Today's lesson is on sum and difference identities. This is the second day. I'm going to go through a few more examples. So my learning objective is I can find the exact value of sum and difference identities by substituting to the expanded form to use the special angles of the unit circle. So I have compressed form or expanded form. So depending on which one I have, I usually find the other one. Okay, so the first example for today is show that the sine of 3 pi divided by 2 minus x equals negative cosine of x. So this is a verify question. So I want to prove that the left-hand side equals the right-hand side. Okay, I only work on one side. I don't move anything back and forth. So I see on the left-hand side, this is the more complicated side. So this is the side I'm going to simplify. So I have the compressed form. I have two angles. So my first angle U is 3 pi divided by 2, and V is x. So I'm going to expand this. So sine the difference. So sine of difference is going to be sine times cosine minus cosine times sine. Okay, so sine times cosine. So sine of 3 pi over 2 times cosine of x minus cosine of 3 pi over 2 times sine of x. And that equals negative cosine of x. Okay, so for 3 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2 is, here. So 3 pi over 2, my coordinates are 0, negative 1. So this is cosine, and the y-coordinate is sine. So at 3 pi over 2, sine is negative 1 times cosine of x minus cosine at 3 pi over 2 is 0 times sine of x equals minus cosine of x. 0 times anything is 0. So I'm just left with this minus cosine of x equals minus cosine of x. So I showed my left-hand side equals my right-hand side. Okay, let's try another one. Find the exact value of 7 pi over 12. Usually we would prefer to work in degrees. So I'm going to convert 7 pi over 12 into degrees. I know there's 180 degrees in pi radians. So I'm multiplying fractions. So pi divided by pi simplifies as 1. So 7 times 180 divided by 12 is 105. So now I want to find two angles on the unit circle that add or subtract to 105. So there's more than one correct answer. So the one I'm going to use is 60 degrees and 45 degrees. So I'm talking about tangent here. So I'm going to say the tangent of 105 degrees. And looking at the tangent of 105 is the tangent of 60 degrees plus 45 degrees, because I'm splitting 105 into those two angles. So this is a tangent sum. So for tangent sum, I'm going to use this formula here. So tangent of u plus tangent of v divided by 1 minus tangent of u times tangent of v. Okay, so u is 60 and v is 45. So substituting in the expanded form, I get the tangent of 60 plus the tangent of 45 divided by 1 minus the tangent of 60 times the tangent of 45. Okay, so substituting in the tangent of 60 from my unit circle is the square root of 3. And the tangent of 45 is 1. So 1 minus square root of 3 times 1. Okay, so now I have a fraction, and the rules with radicals is I cannot have a radical in the denominator, so I need to rationalize my denominator, and I do that by multiplying by the conjugate of what's in the denominator. So since I have a minus here, my conjugate is a plus, so this is going to be 1 plus the square root of 3, 1 plus the square root of 3. So I'm going to put parentheses so it's really clear. I have a double distribute. And the purpose of doing multiplying by the conjugate is so the middle terms total 0. So I'm essentially going to multiply the 1 times the 1 in the denominator and the minus square root of 3 times the plus square root of 3. In the numerator, though, I have 4. So I'm going to multiply out. So this is going to be a double distribute. So in the numerator, I have the square root of 3 plus 3 plus 1 plus the square root of 3 divided by 1 minus 3. So simplifying by combining like terms, I get 4 plus 2 times the square root of 3 over negative 2. And dividing by negative 2 for both terms. So I get the tangent of 105 degrees is negative 2 minus the square root of 3 for the exact answer. Okay, last problem. Find the exact value of the sine of u plus v, given that the sine of u is 4 over 5, and this is between 0 and pi over 2, and the cosine of v is negative pi, or negative 12 over 13, and I'm between pi over 2 and pi. So this is like a double triangle formula. So the first one, I know I am going to be in quadrant 1. So from 0 to pi over 2 puts my triangle in quadrant 1. And from pi over 2 to pi puts me in quadrant 2. So this is u, and this is going to be angle v. Okay, so sine by definition is y over r. So I know y is 4, r is 5. So I need to solve for x. And cosine is x over r. So x over r, so I know the negative sign goes with the x because the radius is always positive. So x is negative 12. My radius is 13. And at this point, I should be recognizing that if I have 4 and 5, that this is a 3, 4, 5 Pythagorean triple. So I wouldn't need to do the extra math. But if I don't remember that, then I'm going to set this up as x squared, the Pythagorean theorem, plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. So I get x squared equals 16. Oops, x squared plus 16 equals 25. Subtract 16 from both sides. I get x squared is 9. So I'm going to take the square root of 5. So I get x equals 3. I know it's positive, so it's positive 3. Okay, so I'm solving for y in this equation, and I should recognize this is a 512. A 5. Oops, what's going on here? 5. 5. What is going on? 5, 12, 13, triple. But if I did not recognize it, then I need to do the math. So I get negative 12 quantity squared plus y squared equals 13 squared. So 144 plus y squared equals 169. So subtract 144 from both sides, and I get y squared equals 25. So y equals 5. I know y is positive in the second quadrant. So now that I know what everything is, this is asking me, so I'm going to expand out u plus v, sine of u plus v, from the formula on the first page is the sine of u plus v equals the sine of u times the cosine of v plus the cosine of u times the sine of v. Okay, so now I'm going to just start substituting in. So for angle u, the sine is given, so that was 4 over 5. Cosine of v, that was given, so that was negative 12 over 13. Plus the cosine of u is now x over r, so that's 3 over 5. And the sine of v, this is going to be 5 over 13. So I'm multiplying numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So 4 times negative 12 is negative 48. 5 over 13 is 65. 3 times 5 is 15. 5 times 13 is 65. So negative 48 plus 15 is 33 over 65. Okay, so today's assignment is on the back of the notes here. I have 6 more problems. You're going to do these in your notebook, not on this little piece of paper. And I do have the answers here for you to check while you're working.